Hey guys, for my final video, I got structuring messages and different things we look at when we structure messages. So I'm just gonna dive right in. We're just doing a easy video for the last one, just talking to you guys. The first thing we look at when we structure messages is we are looking at implicit versus explicit, and this is just well, first, let's take a look at what they are. First, explicit things, we know what that means, right? It's very out there. We know. Implicit is the exact opposite of that. It's things that people say that aren't very clear or direct, but it's like still supposed to be understood. The best thing I can think of this is kind of like when people flirt with each other. It's very implicit. Like you're not gonna, explicitly come out and be like, "I like you." You know what I'm saying? You're just gonna be, subtle hints, say things here and there that kind of lead up to that thing. That's very implicit. Um, Next, we look at gain framed and loss frame, and those two things are how we frame our messages for what people are going to get at the end. So if we are trying to talk someone into something and we keep telling them what they're going to gain from what we're talking about, a lot of times people will shut us out. People actually are more driven to worry about loss. So if we keep telling people what they're going to lose out on, then a lot of times we'll see people jump to it and kind of jump more to getting to what you're selling at. We see that a lot of times even in commercials. It's like, hey, you're missing out on this. You're losing out on that. Other people are getting it and you're not. So just that's a lot of the times what that's kind of talking about. Just focusing on what people are losing out on more than what they're gaining, because it's really hard to talk people into we gain things every day, so it's hard to talk people into focusing on what they're gaining. It's easier to show someone what they're losing out on. We also look at quantity versus quality, and this one's pretty short and sweet to me, kind of like the video. I'm very about just, you know, don't put too much fluff in there. Your quality of what you say is very more important than what your quantity is. If I come out and say one thing very powerfully, it's going to be a lot more persuasive than what it is if I come out and say the exact same thing 10 times in a row. You know, Even if you say it differently. There are certain cases where repetition is very important, but for the most part, I'm very just cut and dry. Next, we're gonna look at it is sorry, I'm really bad with speech. Inhalation theory. I know it's not how we pronounce it, but anyhow, this is just the theory of dosing people small amounts of things that they might want to hear before you actually tell it to them. So, the best thing that I could think of this is teen smoking. Actually, if we think about it, a lot of the times what we'll do in this strategy is we'll dose these kids with small amounts of things that we make them think that they want. We put a negative face on it first. So what we do is we go through and we're like, smoking makes you smell bad. Smoking gives you yellow teeth. Smoking isn't attractive. People don't like you to smoke. We give it a negative face, and then we go through and through the health factors next. Before we even worry about health factors, we show that smoking isn't cool. So that's kind of a way of doing that out there. Before we're actually trying to get them to stop smoking and worrying about not smoking, we're just showing them things. We're just slowly dosing them with small amounts of information that we think they won't like. This is a different way. Sometimes it might be the opposite. You might have to. The book talks about the same theory, and they talk about it in a courtroom situation. How a lawyer would have to slowly try to give facts in from different sides that the jury is going to want to hear to make that person look innocent. So, anyhow, that was my spiel on structuring messages. And I hope you guys learned a little thing or two. And I hope you guys had a great semester and a good finals week. Later.